Well, that was fun.
Was it?
Live from a bus. Here's Galen. I don't know what they're doing. Galen, can you hear me? Okay. Maybe, maybe not on Galen. How about that afternoon? Cougars
Woo.
win it 82-76. Just a total blowout the whole way. I don't even know how they went to overtime. Uh, Equal parts refreshing, frustrating, and then you went 18 of 21 from the free throw line. Who? Galen, you there? He's just going to look at us. He's just here for the pretty. Starns joins in. Brad, what did you think about what you saw?
It was difficult. It was difficult to sit through, but you got to make plays, and we made the plays. You know, we're at that point in the season where every game is survive in advance. It really is tournament ball every time we go on the floor. Huge gutty win, pulling that thing out of the fire, and just a great job all around. Juwan was a beast, an absolute monster, phenomenal.
Big day inside.
And you know what? Jamal had a really rough run towards the end of the game. Still stepped up and hit that big three that got called out, and then played nails in the overtime. So I mean that just speaks to the character and the toughness of this team. Is that when everything's going against them, they step up.
Starns.
I mean, is it crazy to say that Houston's two best wins of the year have come on back-to-back games now?
No, it's not.
Just the start itself was really surprising to me. And just how well they're playing offense really well. They're destroying the zone and just forcing turnovers. You knew Baylor was going to make a run, but again and again, and it seems like that's been the theme with a lot of these road games that U of H is winning. They just make enough plays down the stretch, and that's just, like last year's team, don't know was capable of that like this year's team is. I think the 2022 team, the Elite Eight team, is capable of that. And I think this year's team, these teams are making runs as they always do at home, and they keep them at arm's length, or they hit the free throws, or they make the block, just turnovers. Like they just do all those things, and it all of these road wins, and that's something that I think they learned from Iowa State and TCU.
Galen, he might be gone again. He's
Technical
having some
difficulties.
So Galen's on a bus. They're going from Birmingham to Memphis, and they had a game last night. I believe they have another one tomorrow. So he may or may not be able to connect at some point. He's trying. Let's get to some things I want to just get out of the way and talk about. Before the game, Joseph Duarte told you on social media that Ramon Walker was out. I asked a staffer before the game if it was serious, and I just got a look, which obviously showed that it was. Kelvin told us after the game that it was a torn lateral meniscus. He's done for the year. And it happened, I asked after the post game, Kelvin in the hallway asked him, when did it happen? And he said it was Thursday when they ended practice early. So that was the reason they ended practice early. But yeah, Ramon had, Jamal just told us that Emmanuel told us that Ramon has been doing a really great job on the white team, the backups, of helping those guys in practice. But he's out for the year now, so that's 2 guys. So your bench depth has shrunk to very little. And then in this game, JoJo did not play but 2 early minutes in the second half. I believe that was based on youth. Kelvin alluded to it in the post game that he's just 18. You know, he keeps going back to that. But I you know, you're going to have to do it with a short bench the rest of the way.
Not
okay,
ideal.
good talk.
Not ideal, but
You're down to 8 guys, basically. You're down to 8 guys now. And you thought Ramon would just be someone you could throw out every once in a while. And now you're really tied to you're tied to your starters, especially. I mean,
Yeah.
3 of them played 40 minutes. But you're really tied now to Damian Dunn and Malik Wilson and JoJo Tugler. And Malik has been good. I thought Damian had a decent game today. And, you know, we know JoJo, but that's 3 bench guys. That's only 3. And who knows how much you're going to be able to play them, you know, against certain teams and things like that. So it's definitely not maybe as bad as it's definitely not as bad as it was when you lost Sasser and Tremont Mark, but you know, it's just another body for March that you lose, and it's tough.
I think some fans would disagree with you on the Damian Dunn had a good game today. And mainly, you know, he just missed some wide open threes. He misses a free throw down on this end and then fouls a guy going up. Luckily for U of H, he did not make that free throw. But yeah, you're going with 8 guys, and that's it. And if either of Malik or Damian can really step up, he's going to get a chunk of minutes down the stretch. I mean, you've still got one of the hardest schedules. You get Cincinnati. Is it Cincinnati Tuesday? I'm so blanking out.
Yes.
Tuesday, and then you go to OU, and then you go to Central Florida, and you get Kansas. So not exactly the easiest stretch to end the year.
we're not going to be limping home. That's a guarantee.
No. But you've got at least a 1-game lead going into the last 2 weeks. You're going to be number 1 in the country on Monday.
No getting around it.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And Towns is the believer in you don't want that. It's bait. It's rat poison.
Exactly.
And I don't disagree, but I also think this is the best team in the country. It may not look it. It may not be pretty, but it's the best team in the country right now.
It's not going to be eye pleasing, but
nope.
There's nobody at this moment as we sit here right now. Before any other games are played, there's nobody tougher in the country.
No.
And nobody wants to play this team.
Let's look at some comments and then get down the road a little bit. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. I've heard that somewhere before. I mean, yeah, it would have been. But you were a free throw away from losing the game. So I think the mentality of this team is it doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what they have to do. You win or lose. And they came out with such energy in that first half. And you saw it kind of against Texas A&M and somebody else that I don't remember. And you're just not able to sustain that for an entire game. With the way you play on defense and the way they were playing on offense, it's just virtually impossible. But you didn't think they were going to come out and hit 3 straight threes and take a 16-point game down to 7. So
Yeah, I
What
mean,
they were 12-0, a 12-0 run to start.
they offensively they did what we did in the first half. They got aggressive,
Yeah,
and their guard Ray J just went nuts.
yeah.
He went nuts going to the hole, and they did a really good job of that,
Okay, you cannot say nuts go into the hole. All right,
especially when I
there
mentioned
is
Ray
still
J.
a family,
I
still a
guess
family show
that's
on some level.
that's the best comeback since a Kardashian was involved.
Can I put you in timeout? Is that a thing?
Possibly.
Yeah.
But on the offensive end, I thought we got a little bit stagnant, and it looks like the thing that was really working for us in the against their zone in the first half is that we had both of our big guys playing in the extended low post and opening up the
Mhm.
middle. And in the second half, we started rotating more, having J1 in the middle. So it kind of clogged up the middle a little bit and cut down our pass or our cutting lanes. And then it didn't give us room to really penetrate because we were killing them on the short corner and then penetrating on a drive, and we just got stagnant.
Ryan.
I can't deal with his word choices today.
I thought, I mean, he's a freshman, right? Jacoby Walter. He is.
Well, he's a freshman and also a 1-year player.
Yeah, he's. I thought he was just incredible.
He's really
I thought
good.
he. I mean, he kept that lead from going to 20 in the first half, and then he made some plays in the second half. Like he had that late shot clock, the one that beat the shot clock that Ryan you pointed out. The shot clock didn't start on time, but
It did not.
like through two guys, sort of weird angle, and he's hitting great shots. And then Jalen Bridges just think of a stretch for it to shoot threes. That's pretty dangerous.
Baylor ended up turning it over 19 times in 45 minutes. U of H turned it over 8. I think that's the third or fourth straight game of single-digit turnovers. You lead the conference in turnovers, and it's such a big deal, especially on the road, that this team does not give it away. And don't look now, but this is the second 5-game winning streak in the Big 12. It's the only team that's had one. Now they've had 2. And after the first 2 road losses, you're 4-1 on the road. I mean, this has been, you just look so much different. You've had close games. You had a close game at BYU, and you pulled it out at the end at the free throw line.
Yeah.
You pulled today out at the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this team, you don't expect it. But this team is shouldn't. I mean, Jawan made 2 in a row at one point in the game. They had the students had these big cupcake signs, and if a player missed 2 in a row, they got free cupcakes. Well, the first guy that came up for that, and I was like, there's Jawan. Free cupcakes, and he makes both. They ought to cut off cupcakes for the rest of the year after he made both.
When J1 hits 2, I know it's going to be a good day.
Yeah. Can y'all do this show for the next 2.5 hours? I would like to go home as well. So no.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about the depth. Losing Ramon, really need him to step up. Yeah, that's for sure. It's hard to match.
I think with Dunn, I do, like he did almost lose the game, missing the free throw and then fouling Missy.
Yeah.
But I think you see his defense and his rebounding, it has his effort is there. It's better.
Yes.
And I think the thing that needs to catch up is his offense. And, he's not a corner 3 shooting guy. He never was. He likes to dribble the ball, back you down a little bit or get to the paint and then draw a foul. And so we've seen on those quarter 3s, he struggled a lot, or he's hesitated.
He's
that can
just
click,
not been good from the corner.
yeah, and if that can click, not even like fully, but if that, if he can shoot 30% from the corner, that's okay. That's fine. And if he
Well, I
can
think
draw some fouls,
I think nationally, 30% from the corner is really good.
well, then,
The percentage is
maybe
really low in the corner.
well, then I don't know, less than that. Whatever a reasonable number.
Whatever is okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with him shooting that corner three. My only concern, and it's been going for about a month now, is just looking hesitant inside the arc.
Yeah.
He got the ball in the paint a couple of times, and he just stuck with that pump fake. While that's definitely needed at times, he just doesn't look sure of himself.
Yeah. And the shot he made
know.
today, he didn't pump.
Nope.
He
it was just
he
straight
went
up.
and shot it, and he got it. And so, and I just think he wants to draw those fouls, and I think the book is out on that for teams.
Yeah.
Don't bite.
Mhm.
And so once he sort of figures out, just shoot it, then I think it'll be it'll be a big deal.
And I while it is a concern on depth, it's not that big of a concern to me.
Really?
Because we've rarely played more than 8. This year's one of the first years I can remember where we could rely on getting quality minutes out of 9 guys.
But you're to the point where it's not even not playing more than 8. There's nobody after 8. And I think that's the spot that you find yourself dealing with.
I mean,
I'm looking for Santiago De La Fuente. Okay, he's even par through 14 today. He's dropping like a rock, though. Everybody's going low. Yeah, sorry. Golf talk right there. The reason is because Emmett O just said something and I didn't understand it. I don't know what that means. I'm sure somebody does. Starns, you're young. Okay,
Nah,
guess not.
I don't get it.
As an Iowa State guys, you put me in the awkward position of rooting for Baylor. Good game again. Yeah, that's a pretty awkward position. Foster Pavilion is fantastic. It's really nice. I'm going to be sore as hell. We're in the end zone. We were sitting in the end zone, and the end zone is just straight up. And I walked up and down them stairs probably 30 times today, and my legs are going to be so sore from those steep steps. So I ain't doing shit tomorrow.
They're so steep that your biggest workout is coming down from them.
Well, that's your thing. That's not my thing.
And not falling off the freaking bleachers.
I've been to 4 road games now. This is probably my favorite arena, just in terms of what it looks like, how it's built, and then just with the fans and everything. I think.
Well, I hope it looks good in the arena, because it looks like trash on TV from that.
Well, it looks like trash.
Cam.
Yeah, because you're seeing it from the moon.
I mean, literally, I got motion sickness watching in the first 10 minutes till I got used to looking straight down at the basket.
I went up there to where the camera angle is, and it's far. It's actually closer to my car, and we're across the freeway and down than it was to going up there. But yeah, it's a terrible camera angle. They have 2 kind of concourse level in the corners, and I don't know how much that was on TV, but they had them both manned today. But yeah, that high thing, not great. But it's a really, I mean, there are many things about this arena and the facilities that are really first rate. But that TV, that angle, just not the best.
It seemed pretty loud on TV.
It got loud in the second half.
Yeah, in the second half.
Well, it also got loud in the first half when LJ was introduced.
Oh, yeah.
That was a loud boo. And then the first couple times he touched the ball was incredibly loud. It got a little better as the game went on, and certainly in overtime.
And they just kept booing him every time. They didn't stop.
Nope.
And it
was like
a switch
mission
went off every
one.
time he touched it, and it was pretty impressive.
Uh,
What the heck is going on behind you, Ryan?
somebody's got a dust buster, and they're cleaning. It's actually a blower, an electric blower. I heard it up here. I thought it was a dust buster, but it's a blower.
No, it just
Uh,
sounds. I just hear these loud cracking noises.
Those are probably my knees. I'm sitting, and it's probably my knees.
Maybe it's my rotator cuff after I
Yeah,
threw it out when Jamal hit that disallowed 3.
yeah. Starns the first guy in the arena to see that, and now his internet has gone to hell for good.
Yeah, credit to me for realizing that Ted was late.
Yep, I thought that was impressive. Other schools fans, U of H has been very good for revenue at other Big 12 schools this year. The biggest games at Kansas, at Iowa State, at BYU, here at Texas, has been the University of Houston. And I'm sure they're having big games otherwise, but U of H has
Cincinnati.
taken the best shots. Yes, I didn't go to Cincinnati, but you're right. That's why I didn't think about it. But yeah, the U of H has brought out everybody's best. They've taken everybody's best to this point. Kansas State is beating BYU, so this conference doesn't make any sense. West Virginia's in a game with Iowa State at Hilton. It's 48-43 with 14 minutes to play. If West Virginia could win their first road game of the year in the conference at
That wouldn't be
Iowa
a bad
State,
thing. That wouldn't be a bad
that
thing.
would be kind of a big deal for the University of Houston. That would put you with a 2-game lead with 2 weeks to play. Not bad. Most of the other games haven't tipped. Cincinnati, TCU tipped. If you're just late joining us, there's the blower guy. He's about to come behind me. U of H won a game here at Foster. I did not think there was a chance in hell of you winning this game. Something Kelvin let's make sure you can hear this because I don't want to
Yeah, we can hear you.
have to do it again. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
So after you walked away, Starnes, Kelvin, and maybe it was after you left, Kelvin said that Reggie Chaney's mom talked to the team after the game today. And so they had a lot of emotion today. They had Ramon's injury, which is still fresh. And, these are their best friends. They're together 24 hours a day. And so it was a big deal. And LJ coming back to his former home, an emotional game, overtime, and then Reggie's mom talks to the team after the game. I mean, it was a gauntlet for these guys today.
Ooh.
But they got it done. And you win a game, and West Virginia's down 3 with 12 and a half to play. That is something I would like to see Sharp take the last shot over the shed jumper.
I mean,
put the
I
ball in
like
the
you
hands
a
of your
lot.
best.
I like you, Sean, but you're 100% wrong.
You put the ball in Jamal Shedd's hand. He is the best point guard in the nation. You put it in his hand.
Yep. And the problem there is that there were a bunch of tips on the rebound from that free throw, and it just wasn't. It didn't come out clean. But once they got it to Jamal, he got it up the floor, and I don't think Emmanuel gets it up the floor any better than that. And you just have to put it in Jamal's hands.
It's just it was 2/10 of a second.
I don't even think it was that.
So I mean, that's not even half a step. If you can't take a half a step, I mean,
Yeah. And Jamal was in a right spot for the outlet. I mean, everything was done to the book. It's massively different than what you had at like Iowa State, for instance, at Hilton, where you just had a disaster. Or was that TCU? That was TCU. TCU. Okay. How many times has it felt Jamal has willed this team to a win? almost all of them. I mean, that's what he does. I guess Galen gave up on us, but he didn't think he was going to be able to be here because they kind of, I think, changed the schedule on him. So he did not call anybody's name in the presser. Today was mellow. He was in a good mood. He had 3 guys with him, LJ, Jawan, and Jamal. I don't think I've ever seen that with 3 guys in the press conference. Yeah.
Jamal was in
I don't even know what I was going to say.
I mean,
they were in a
are.
joking, great mood.
Yeah.
I mean, and they should. The way you work in this program and in every program, but, you know, the way they work and grind to win, they ought to be able to celebrate.
Yeah.
And they'll get, you know, from now till College Station off, and then it's back to work. They may stop there and do a practice, a run through.
This is just one of those games that just take everything out of you.
Yeah.
Because they had to empty the tank today.
Yeah. If you had to go and play a Monday night game, even at home,
yeah. It'd be dangerous.
I don't know. We were talking with Kellen a couple days ago, Thursday, and he was referring to these Saturday Mondays, much like when you beat Arizona a few years ago and then got Villanova 2 days later and just didn't have any legs.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned that in that Arizona game, you played a late game, and in Villanova, you played the early game. So you exerted everything beating the number 1 seed, and then had, you know, less than 48 hours, and there you go. And this would be a lot of that same situation. Galen is flying the plane from Birmingham to Memphis. It does say Greyhound out on the side, but yeah.
Put some wings on it. It works.
So besides Jamal and Jawan, who do y'all think had like a low-key great game? I think JV or Francis. Yeah. Okay, well, we're all on the same page. See, when we're all on the same page, the conversation is not as good.
I mean, how long did he play with 4 fouls? And still made an impact.
I mean,
still made an impact.
The defense in overtime. Now they're just going to stand behind me and do this. His defense in overtime was unbelievable, and they could have called. The fans were begging for calls, but they were just great, straight up, blocked those balls. I have not seen him play that mature and that smart. I mean, it felt like he made it happen. And, you know, he went on that little 4-point run where he got the tip in and he slammed the ball home. Then he got a foul. Then he made a good shot later. And, you know, he ended up 4 or 5 and 8
that
points.
Looping hook that he threw up. It was like, oh, God, okay, great shot.
All right. Yeah, all right. Good job. Way to go.
And it looks like when he grabs the ball with one hand, it looks like he's holding a softball.
Yeah. It's also, certainly not like me.
Emmanuel's, I think he scored 8 points consecutive, in the first 5 were really tough. It was a late shot clock 3, and then he somehow pivoted around the big man and laid
that move,
floated it up.
Yeah. That move was so pretty. He got there so fast, and he didn't do that a year ago. He didn't do that 2 or 3 months ago.
No,
but he's just gotten so much better and faster, and I mean,
and his defense obviously has massively improved. Massively 100%, improved.
100%.
I mean, just the footwork alone, how he's able to cut people off on the dribble with his body. You know, 2 months ago, he was just grabbing people. He was reaching out with his hands. Now his feet and shoulders are in front of the guy as they're trying to get there.
And he had a tough assignment. He had a really tough assignment. He was
really did.
Walter and then none.
I got to tell you, man, that Walter kid, holy shit, that guy can play.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
I don't know who you want to face in the Big 12 tournament, but I haven't seen him yet. I guess West
No.
Virginia, but I don't know. On the third day, you're not going to see West Virginia.
I would say West Virginia because you've got Kerr there, and he's always good for about 4 or 5 stupid turnovers.
Yeah. Speaking of, they're down 2 now at Hilton.
There's so much time left in
50-48.
that game.
Yeah,
I guarantee
they
you
could
Iowa
do it.
State's going to pull away and win by 12.
Well, they could do that, but also,
Remember,
West Virginia is just not a team you expected to be here.
You've got the Kerr factor. Okay,
you do have that.
He's got the turd with the pin pulled and ready to chunk it right in the punch bowl. It's usually for the wrong punch bowl. I don't like the guy. I think he's terrible. I think he's the most overrated. I think he's the most overrated player in America. The entire time he's been on our shores.
He's hit 3 of 5 3-pointers, but he does have 4 turnovers. They have 14 as a team. He's got 4 of them. So there you are.
I want to talk about
whatever you want.
Me and Ryan we talk about this, but Kelvin Sampson's out of timeout plays always are just incredible. I wish we knew what the hit rate was.
We're going to find out. I am asking this week. But I was trying to think. There was one missed on Iowa State, but I don't remember 2 misses ago. Every play they run is oh, shit, look at that. And the one today, it was a quick hitter that just masterful. And, I mean, it's just fun to watch.
What is it? 3 times in 2 games where on the, under the basket, out of bounds, where a guy just breaks off and gets a layup. I mean, that's pretty insane.
Okay. We're almost ready. Starns?
Ready?
Hang on. No, we're not. We're getting there. We're getting there. Ah! Okay, now we're there. What you got? Do you have a good stat for us?
Not really, but 32 points in the paint for U of H, and then 21 points off turnovers. I think that ultimately was the difference. You forced 19 turnovers, maybe not forced all of them, but 14 steals as a team. 6 of them from Jawan Roberts. But the ability to get in the paint against that zone, and then also, force and score off those turnovers, I think was ultimately the difference in the game.
I have 2 stats for you. Number 1, write this down. Houston is undefeated at Foster Pavilion. Never lost. 1-0.
Ooh, yeah.
Second, Kelvin Sampson is 23-1 versus Baylor. 1 loss.
Wow.
Came in the Final Four to the best team in the country, but 23-1.
One of the best teams in the last decade.
Yeah, for sure. So, there you go. There's your stats of the game. Stats by Starns. Starns stats. My phone's going to die soon. No, sorry, Alan.
Plug it in.
But thank you. Yeah.
Plug it in.
Accurate. This is also another stat of the game. I don't know how we both missed this, Starns. 18-21 from the line.
It's insane.
So, Jawan missed 1. Malik Wilson missed 1, and Damian Dunn missed 1.
Yep.
And Pryor was 6 of 6, all in overtime. Emmanuel Sharp was 6 of 6. Jamal Shed shot 1 free throw today. It was the and 1. I mean, it just makes no sense. Yeah, it really was. I don't know how that ball went in. But you needed all of them today.
Here's a good one. We beat West Virginia in football, and we beat them in basketball. We beat Baylor in football, and we beat them in basketball. I like that. I like that trend. Let's keep that up.
We were 23 of 40 inside the arc today.
That's pretty good. Who else did you beat in the Big 12 in football? Anybody? Or just those two?
I believe it's those two.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay. All right. So there you go.
They almost beat Texas.
Have a good day, Parker. Yeah. Did you have fun? Parker Ainsworth had fun. Back to
Awesome.
you. Yeah. I can't stand that guy.
Hey, don't talk about me like that.
He heard me. I just wanted to make sure. You can't make that. Who cares? Both teams missed a free throw in the last 16 seconds, so it evens out. I mean, whatever. Galen sent a message that my connection is ass. So
Thank you.
he's
Hey,
not
man,
gonna.
I've done that drive between Birmingham and Memphis, and there just ain't nothing there.
No. UAB and Memphis play for that Rack of Ribs trophy. That's the only thing between the two.
Yeah, pretty much.
We talked about Dunn. I don't think there's a lot to talk about. The guy's struggling. He's not good right now. But if you are to do anything, he's going to have to play minutes. And, Jamal Shed is playing so many minutes right now that it's starting to look like what last year looked like. And he just ran out of steam. And you're going to have Malik and Dunn play more minutes to help him out. Yes, there is. I wanted to talk to Galen about the Memphis compliance scandal problem. This could be their way out of Penny. So
I think when I saw that, I was like, okay, so Memphis has been sitting on this for a while. Now they're just using it to they throw him out for free.
Yeah. It's one of those times you got to use your thing. Oh, well. Poor Memphis. Still a 3-point game at Iowa State.
I wonder if they're going to hang a banner on that for that.
Penny?
Yeah, for Penny getting fired. Or
academic
Penny scandals.
Yeah. He's had quite a few. So Kelvin in the postgame said that this was really 3 different games. And he's right. U of H really did nothing wrong in the first half. And with about 9 minutes left in the half, Starns turned to me and said, over under 3 for the lead in the half. And I was like, oh, it's going to be way bigger. And it ended up 16, I think. U of H was up 17 at one point. And they're going to make a run. It's just what happens in this conference in every game.
Yeah.
I mean, even UCF, who only made 7 field goals against U of H, they made a run. It was from the line, but they made that run. And so it's coming. But is it a little run or is it a big one? And Baylor made just an extended run. They chopped that lead down inside of 5 pretty fast.
Yeah.
But U of H held them at arm's length. Baylor did go up 2, I believe.
No, I don't think.
And U of H rallied. No? I thought they had led in the second half.
No, Baylor scored
could
the
be
first
wrong.
points.
Yeah, their first lead came in overtime.
No, they
Okay.
didn't. They didn't lead in overtime. Or they did lead in overtime. Never mind. That's fine.
Yeah.
They just had that first possession, and then it was over.
Okay, so I looked at this earlier, and it says largest lead 2 in the third, and I couldn't figure that out, but that's overtime. Okay, I was like, what is that? I think this U of H team would be better with quarters right now. I'm going to be honest. I think it would help this
Some
team right
extra
now.
rest.
Yeah. Okay, all the comments are about Memphis.
Sorry, we didn't mean to derail it with Memphis talk.
Baylor is talented on offense, but they don't play defense.
Very little.
I think that's mostly true. I think they played a little better defense in the second half. U of H was helping, hitting front rim all day. Starns, are you going to Orlando?
No, sir. No, won't be on the road until Kansas City. Big 12 tournament.
Okay. Well, it could have broken you today, and I think that if said Lath is out there, he's just not ready. He's nowhere close to ready.
You're getting a foul and a turnover in
well,
2
the thing
minutes,
is
or less than that.
He might foul you while he's turning it over.
I wouldn't be sad to see him come in and absorb a couple of fouls. And we're going to foul anyhow. So, I mean, might as well use him to do it.
Yeah, but in overtime, you thought
not
you would
overtime.
have called it.
No.
Right.
I'm just talking
saying,
about like give a minute or two to Jawan or JBR.
I think even then, I think giving said minutes doesn't alleviate the load issue that you may have. I think a lot of that comes from the guards. That it comes from LJ and Jamal playing, and Emmanuel at times playing so many minutes. And Said's not going in for those guys.
Well, now we've done a really good job as far as managing minutes for our guards. I mean, for the season, LJ and Jamal are just at 30, 31 per game, which is down from the last two to 3 years for our guards. So
but that was almost all in the out of conference though. If you look at conference only numbers, those numbers are up. Because there's no way Jamal's averaging 30 minutes in Big 12 play.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Because those 31 are what was Jamal? Where is it? Last year Jamal was at 32.6. And remember, we had a cakewalk in conference. Yeah. So those are all coming in early season, most of them, in the Memphis games. I just think over the season, we're at that point right now where they're not going to get any rest anyhow. So unless we can find a way to bang out a couple more 30-point wins, we're going guns blazing. It's tournament time right now. The rest of the schedule is a tournament.
Jamal is 13th in minutes in the Big 12 with 34.
In Big 12 only games?
Big 12 only games.
Yeah.
It has not registered this game yet.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with Jamal is like you're noticing like on these road games he plays a ton of minutes. Mm-hmm. At home games they're blowing teams out and he's playing 30, maybe a little less, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
And that when it comes tournament time he's going to play a ton of minutes. It's just a matter of I guess timing when you take him out and how long you can go without him. With Malik and LJ and Damian out there, which today was not long at all. But certain days it's been okay. But.
Today was U of H's 10th Q1 win. That's the most in the country. And Iowa State is now up 7. So that could be all she wrote on that one. This is most likely. And yes, the last time you beat Baylor was today, the 24th of February in 1996. It was a 10-point win at Hofheinz.
So, I'll be back in a second. I got to go blow my nose. My allergies are killing me.
I don't really understand why we needed to know all that. Starns, what's your takeaway from today overall?
Overall, I think you found a way to win again on the road, and that's really all that matters. And now at this point, after the Iowa State game, and now after this game, you've put yourself in an inside track. However small or big that advantage may be, but you put yourself in an inside track to win the regular season of Big 12. You have 4 games left.
Yeah, 4.
4, and any cushion you can get. I had thought the Iowa State win was cushion for losing this game, but you win this game, and now you have cushion for Cincinnati. You have cushion for Oklahoma. You have cushion for UCF and Kansas, and 2 of those games are at home.
Yeah.
So you've just given yourself such a huge, not cushion. I don't want to say cushion again, but you've helped yourself so much by winning this game.
Yeah. Towns, what's your takeaway from today?
Back to the beginning, survive and advance. They did a phenomenal job, showed a lot of character, a lot of heart. Everything was going against them for a while, and they just fought through it. That's pretty. I'm absolutely exhausted watching this game.
You didn't even leave the house.
I know. That's the crazy thing about it.
I woke up at 5 today to drive here.
Oh, really? You woke up at 5? Oh, wow. Woke up at 5. Ooh.
Well, you don't sleep, Ryan. So
Welcome to every day. Wait, you'll get on one day. You'll be at 4 a.m. guy.
You'll never be this old. You'll never be this old.
Well, I hope you are this old.
No, I hope you stay young, Starns. It's a good feeling. I just had totally written this game off. You're going to lose it. They're not losing at home. It's really hard. And, but you're still going to be leading the conference. And so just get out of here, look good. But then, wow. And this team came out on a different level. They weren't able to sustain it for 40 minutes. But since those first 2 road games, every time you've been in that spot, this team has delivered. You did it at home and on the road, Texas game, BYU game, Iowa State here. You could easily have 6 or 7 losses in this league now and have played pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But you're 11-3.
Yeah.
In this conference. And that is virtually unbelievable.
And we still haven't put together our best game.
No.
Well, you texted me during the game that this is the best we've looked all year in the first half.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I agree. In the first half, the team looked phenomenal. The next step in the evolution of this team is they're going to put 2 halves together and step on somebody's throat when they get them down like that and just completely take them out of the game and finish it off
they've done that
early.
at home.
Yeah.
But they haven't done it. It's been a few weeks, and they haven't done it on these top echelon teams. The fact is you're not going to beat these guys by 20 in this building. It's just not going to happen. Scott Drew and Kelvin has said this a couple times, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a legit Hall of Famer. And he's a really good coach. They've got a great program. And I just don't think you can expect to come in here and beat them by 20. But what the hell do I know?
I think one of the biggest things, they fell down 14-0 at Iowa State. They have not done anything close to that on the road since then.
That 14-0.
They have not made those mistakes early in the game. They've not turned it over like that. They've not come close to doing anything like that since then.
Well, the Iowa State at Hilton, I mean, it wasn't the fact that we were down 14-0. It's the fact that we turned it over, 6 times in
Yeah,
6
times in
minutes,
the 6 minutes.
which is completely out of character. But they step into this conference and they jump immediately into the bright lights, and they blinked a couple of times, and then since then it's okay, back to business. Now you know what it's like. Let's go play.
Yeah. Rusty, I appreciate your comments and all, but there's always going to be golf talk on this. This is a golf school with a great golf tradition, and I'm a golf nerd, and so it's always just going to be here. Texas at home was the best we've looked in the last few weeks. I think that's fair to say. But that game wasn't easy. So, yeah. So you've got 11 Q1 wins. Is that win number 24?
Yeah,
No?
I was told,
Anybody?
I was told there'd be no math.
Well, there's not really math here, Brad. It's just adding. A little adding and a little.
Well, that's
24.
math.
Yeah.
Technically, that's math.
24-3. No one else right now has more than 20 wins in the conference. U of H is at 24. At 11 wins in the conference, Iowa State's about to get to 10 because, as Towns said, the blowout is starting.
I mean, outside of a few wild predictions here and there, nobody had this team doing this year one in the Big 12.
There are fans who think you're going to win every game, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But realistic, I just don't see how you could have thought this would be it. It just, I keep saying this, but I'm blown away by it. I don't understand. I'm around this team as much as any outsider. Starns is right there, but I still don't understand what I'm seeing. Like the way they step up to grab wins against very talented teams. I mean, this Baylor team is a top 12 team, top 15 worst team. They're going to be they're top 15 in the net. They're going to be a 4 seed, 5 seed. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad team. And
well, it also, I think the thing that so kind of takes a while to get in your head is that we might have bought into the BS that our record was what it was because we played in a bad conference.
Mm-hmm.
But for us to believe that, we had to ignore what we saw on a game-to-game basis. And now we're learning that, we've always been legit. We've always been this good. These are just new people. These are just new people we get to beat.
I'm going to be honest. You can say this good, but it's the toughness. It's the stepping on somebody that is, and you've never been that because you've never had to do it. You haven't had this number of close games and this number of talented teams on schedule. You got up for those games, but now there's no getting up. They're all that way. And it's just been a blast covering this. And we'll have Cincinnati and OU this week. I'm excited about going to Norman to see how that's going to go. And just how it's going to look and the reaction they get. It's not going to be the same one you got with LJ here. I think the people are going to welcome Kelvin and Kellen and Lauren and Quanis and Hollis back. They ought to announce that Hollis is going to the Hall of Fame there. I had this conversation with somebody today that, he was the first team All-American and he brought you to a Final Four. That, for a school like OU, that should get you, in basketball terms, should get you in the Hall of Fame. So we're going to do that, make that the end of this. Juwan's leadership really shows up on the road. We wrote about this 10 days ago or so, but he is a different guy on the road. He just stands up and delivers on the road. Yeah. Today was 7 and 9, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. he had a couple of assists from deep, and got the ball, had the vision to see the right guy, and kicked it out, and they buried a shot, and man, that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be the end of it for us today. GoCougs.com. The Daily Cougar is going to send you something pretty good this week, I think. So you should watch out for
several
that
good
too.
things.
Well, let's start with one. But yeah, maybe.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know who you're talking to, but yeah, maybe. All right, GoCougs.com. Thank you all so much for watching Cats, and we'll be back Tuesday.